Good morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Wednesday. It's the 27th day of September 2023. I hope you're all safe and healthy today and that your family is safe and healthy and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the healthcare field who, along with the first responders, are every day trying to save lives, and those that make deliveries for our convenience, as well as those that pick up garbage to keep our places clean and disease free. Double blessings on the men and women that are out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover the teenagers and the children that are the victims of child molestation and pedophilia. The people who are also victims of prostitution and child prostitution. The people that are victims of pornography and child pornography. The people also that are victims of human trafficking and sex slavery. Double curses on the men and women that are here profiting on these things, perpetrating these things, and the perverts that create the market for these things. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. Nearly 600,000 men, women, and mostly children homeless on the streets of the United States of America, and millions around the world in similar or worse conditions. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. Tom Thibodeau did an interview a couple of days ago for NBA, for NBA.com. And it was very interesting. The first question really is the thing that hit me. We've been talking all season, all off season, about, to me, the most important thing coming into this season for the Knicks is continuity, and how all of the talk about big trades and changes, major changes to the roster were stupid, because this is the first season, and I can't even tell you when the Knicks have a strong core of players that are continuing in the same system now. So now you're dealing with Mitchell Robinson. Your whole starting five, except Jalen Brunson, basically, have been there for 3 or 4 seasons or more. Okay, the same can be said with people like Emmanuel Quickly. Now you have new pieces in Isaiah Hartenstein, who still has at least a year under his belt with Thibodeau, and Josh Hart, who has at least half a season and playoffs under his belt with Thibodeau. Dante DiVincenzo would be new, but then you have Jericho Sims and Deuce McBride. All of these players, all 10 of them, are going to play roles this year. It's an 82-game season. It's a long season. You're going to start off with the rotation that does not have Sims and McBride in it, but believe it, over the course of the season, all of these guys are going to play significant roles, because it's a marathon of a season. One of the things that makes the NBA, is that it's 82 games. And this is why there's some players people think are very talented, and they might be, when you're not playing 82 games. But you got to take into account the endurance portion and the toughness portion in order to go through an 82-game season. Some people were upset at me because I called Anthony Davis Ambulance Anthony, but that's because, although he's supremely talented, and I'm using him as an example, he hasn't played more than 65 games in 6 years. Okay, so therefore he's what we call unavailable. Okay, he's not consistently available. So for all his talent, if he's always hurt or if he's out of the lineup, that don't do you no good. So with being that this is an 82-game season, Thibodeau has established on the Knicks a toughness so that the players know they're expected to be available and ready when they're called upon. And for the most part, all of these guys I just named are. And so this is important coming into this season. And the first question was, from NBA.com, how are you feeling about the Knicks offseason? And the first word out of Thibodeau's mouth, continuity. Continuity is important. And we're going into year 4. I'm glad he said that, because I've been telling y'all that every year. Everybody's looking to fire everybody, get rid of Thibodeau, get rid of the front office, trade everybody when you're in a development program. Okay? You started off in a development program. And now you've gotten 3 years into it, and you're in year 4. And this is the year you should expect bigger things, including Thibodeau's expecting bigger things because of that word, continuity. What does it do? It makes the players coming into camp understand what their roles are. Like, people are still, there's knuckleheads out here still saying, well, Grimes shouldn't start. Please, somebody needs to go teach these people basketball, especially NBA basketball. Grimes is your starter at the 2. And that's part of continuity. You already know who your starters are. When Dante DiVincenzo came on the team, when they signed him to the mid-level exception, with the understanding that he's going to be coming off the bench. So now he knows coming into camp what his role is. Mitchell Robinson knows he's the starter at the 5 spot. R.J. Barrett knows he's the starter at the 3 spot. Although I felt, and some of us felt, that maybe he's more effective coming off the bench and playing with the second unit. That's irrelevant. Right now, he's the starter at the 3 spot. We know Brunson's the starter at the point. And of course, we know Julius Randle, and we'll speak more about him in a minute. We know he's the starter at the 4. We know Hartenstein's your backup at the second unit. He's the Mob Deep center. Okay, we know this. We go quickly. Is the Mob Deep point guard or the 2 guard? He could play either way. We know now Josh Hart can back up at the 4, and this is no mystery. Some of y'all still whining about something. I guess you need something to whine about, but he is the backup at the 4. Okay, along with R.J. Barrett. So we know who these people. They know what they're playing. Jericho Sims understands that when Mitchell Robinson misses games, he's the starter at the 5. It's not going to be Hartenstein. When Mitch Rob can't start, Sims will start. Sims either rides the pine or starts. That's how this is going to roll. That's how it was last year. That's how it's going to be this year. Continuity. Okay? Deuce understands when they need defense at the point of attack, he's going to be in there. And if he's hitting his shot while he's in there, he will play more. Okay? Because him and Grimes are your 2 best perimeter defenders on the team. These people all know what their roles are. This is extremely important because the quicker you can get into your role and fit into it and get comfortable with it, the more quicker your team hits its stride. And for a team like the Knicks, who is a defensive-oriented team, and they generally defensive-oriented teams, see Miami, start slow. Okay, I don't know why, but they do. They start slow, and they start to pick up steam in the second half of the season. This is typical of Tom Thibodeau coach teams. If you could get a little faster start and still pick up steam because of the continuity, you're even more dangerous. And the Knicks, to me, I've been saying it this whole summer. Some people are just catching on. Some still ain't caught on yet, but I've been saying it the whole summer. The Knicks are Eastern Conference Finals threats this year. Okay, will they guarantee make it? No, you're gonna need some things to go your way to make the ECF. Aside from your talent, you gotta have lack of injuries. You gotta have, so the ball's gotta bounce your way. It's not that easy to get to the ECF or to the finals. But the Knicks can be Eastern Conference finalists this year. They have the talent. They can surprise people in the East. We've been saying that. I was saying no small. I thought they could get 4 seed. I still think they could do that. They may even do better. So right now, the continuity experience is very important. Secondly, they asked him about Julius Randle. Now, Julius Randle, to me, in looking at the videos where Johnny Bryant and he are working out, and one of the things I said earlier, we go back a season even. I wanted to trade Julius Randle. From the last 3 seasons, I wanted to trade Julius Randle, and I wanted to give Obi Toppin that spot. The Knicks did not do that. That was a smart move. And this season, I feel like you're going to see a coming together, a merging of Julius's talent and a growth in maturity level in terms of his game. I still, don't get it twisted. He's still going to trip out in a couple of games, and he's going to still, get us frustrated at times with his turnovers. But I feel like the difference this season in terms of his maturity will be shown in the playoffs. If you can get 25-10 Julius in the playoffs, yes, the Knicks can go to the Eastern Conference Finals. They can definitely do it. Okay, so I believe just because of the maturity level, it seems like the stars are aligning, and you see his workouts. They asked Thibodeau about him. He said he's just steady progress. He's had a very good offseason. He'll be fresh and ready to go. Now, this is important with Julius because Julius is already a brick doo-doo house. Like, in other words, he's strong, man. He does 75, 80 games every season now, since his rookie year when he broke his leg. But you get him fresh and ready to go. You get him in shape. You get him hungry, plus maturing at the same time. The Knicks got something here. And if Julius turns into a playoff stud, you can thank Tom Thibodeau. You can thank the staff with Johnny Bryant. You could thank the Knicks coaching staff. You could thank the organization for having faith in him. Some of y'all that still doubt your own team. But you could thank them for developing this guy. Because when he came here, he was a candy stat dude. What do I mean by that? You eat candy, you get a quick sugar rush, and then you crash. That was his stats. He had never been on a winning team. He had never been a force to make a team win. He comes to New York his first year, he put up the candy stats. But his second year, his third year here, his fourth year now here, it's obvious. 2 times All-NBA, 2 times All-Star. And now I think, like I said, this year, I think we're set to see something from him this year. He just looks different. He looks more in shape. He looks more excited. I think we're gonna see something from Juju this year. I think I'm expecting another All-Star bid. I'm expecting another All-NBA team from him, along with Jalen Brunson. He should have been All-Star and All-NBA this previous season, but now you're getting him in his second year running the club with one of the highest IQs of any point guard in the NBA. You should see some things from both of them. So imagine the Knicks, 2 All-Stars, 2 All-NBA players on the squad. Okay, imagine that. And now you're going into the playoffs with a Julius Randle that's going to look better this year than he's looked since he's been in the Knicks uniform in the playoffs. So the continuity is good. The most important things that come out of that was 2 things. The continuity, which he first answered first. That was important. That's the most important thing. The second thing, just as important, Julius Randle, his health. It's like I said, imagine a Julius Randle that gives you 25 and 10 in the playoffs. Okay, we know he can do it during the season now. He's already proven that. He can carry the Knicks. There's games where, like I said, one of the signs of a star, not a superstar, a star, is that there's certain nights where he's on and there's nothing nobody could do about it, and he's just going to carry you that night. There's guys that do that, okay? Now, the difference between that and a superstar is a superstar does it in the playoffs. A superstar, you might get a playoff game and they're keying on him and you can't do nothing about it. He just goes off, period, done. With the backup that he's got now, in terms of Brunson, in terms of the growth in Grimes I'm expecting, in terms of quickly, with the backup dynamite that's behind him, and now you got a DiVincenzo, you got Josh Hart for a full season. With the backup dynamite behind him, he could become that guy in the playoffs. And if he does, yeah, you're going to get a lot of all-of-a-sudden fans that say, well, I knew all along. No, you didn't. There's some bandwagon people that's going to be coming from Laker Nation and other nations and try to say it was always with Knicks Nation. It's all good, though. We know who the real fans are. So I was very happy, I guess what I'm saying, with the interview that Thibodeau gave. It substantiated, it confirmed things that we already knew, or at least some of us over here in Raw Hebrew Remnants channel already knew. And now we're going forward into training camp next week. Julius is going to be fresh and healthy. Brunson, Hart coming off the FIBA, and of course, RJ coming off the FIBA experience. The continuity is going to be there. Everybody's walking into camp knowing what their role is. I'm excited about this team. So 1 week from, I think 1 week from today, it should be about that time, you're going to see the training camp for the New York Knicks begin. And then very shortly after that, you'll start to see preseason games. So here we are, Knicks Nation. You believe it already? It's going to be October, Sunday. This is where we at. Anyway, y'all enjoy your Wednesday, and enjoy your New York Knicks. Shalom.